Hello, hello, hello. Let me know if I'm live inside of the chat. Sometimes what happens is like you get it says that it's live, but it's not really live because I can't see the comment section. I can't really write a comment, and it's just kind of a really interesting opening sequence whenever I do these live videos. So let me know if I'm live so I know I'm not just talking to myself. And I see some zeros inside the chat. Thank you, thank you, thank you. So, if you're watching this thing live, write hashtag team live so I know that you're here with me and I'll be able to ask you some questions, answer some questions you might have, and make sure that, this is very, very interactive. If you're watching this on the replay, write hashtag team replay so I know you're on the replay as well. Hello, Suzanne. Nice to see you. Hopefully you're doing really well. Also, guys, if at any moment in time you have some questions, write hashtag connect. I'll reach out to you. I'll answer the questions you might have, and maybe we can even work together. And finally, if you want some help growing your business without making all the mistakes that I made when I started my firm about 7 years ago, and just basically you want to springboard your way to success without having to take it the long way, go ahead and click on the link inside the description or the comment section below to book a call with me to see if I can help you. Hello, James. Hello, Brian. Hello, Suzanne. Hello, Dano. Great to see you guys inside the comment. James, how is it going working with John? He said that he's having a lot of fun working with you. How's everything going with that? So for those of you who don't know, sometimes whenever you join my program, if there's an opening with one of my other students who's like growing their business really, really fast, we actually have you subcontract work with some of them. So it's almost like when you join the program, there's like a mini built-in guarantee because my other students are successful, so you're able to go and kind of piggyback off their success inside the program. So it's just kind of cool, and James is living proof of that. Since he recently got a subcontracting position with one of my other students. So really cool to kind of see him in there. So let's jump into this thing, okay? So how are we able to do this? How did the student get to $5,000 a month? Okay, there's really going to be about three main things that you need to focus on if you're going to be able to do this and get to $0 to $5,000 in the next 35 days. Number one is lead flow. Okay, so if you don't have enough leads and you don't have enough people you're speaking to, it's very, very hard for you to grow your business. So number one, you need to be thinking about audience growth, okay? So if you're just starting out, I would be thinking about Instagram and LinkedIn. Why Instagram and LinkedIn? LinkedIn is good because you can really qualify who you're speaking to, and it's very, very good for you to be able to build this network of people who are, generally going to pay you a higher dollar amount per client. Instagram is great because you can get volume really, really quickly, and it's just a much more intimate platform. So when somebody connects with you, they can see you more frequently, they can see your content, and it's a lot easier for you to be able to build that relationship with them. So if you have both of them just working together and in conjunction with each other, it makes it very easy for you to go and not only get leads really quickly, but you can build that trust with them, okay? Because audience and lead flow is about two things. It's about audience growth, that means getting more people to know you exist, and then it's about making content to deepen that relationship. Oftentimes what happens is most people, when they're starting out, like they think in terms of clients like a destination rather than a process. So they ask me questions like, well, where am I supposed to go? Like, do I have to go to a networking event? Do I have to go on Upwork? Do I have to go on LinkedIn? Do I have to go on Instagram? It's not like that. It's more you need to be able to just find wherever there's business owners who are open to being friends with you. Like, they have to just really connect and resonate or vibe with you, and then they start paying you more money. Now, a good example of this was my student JT. So if you ever go look at JT's page, he posts content, right? It wasn't until he had about 600 people in his target market on his Facebook friends list that he started actually posting content to those audience. So the first thing we had to do was he had to go grow his audience by interacting inside of the communities. So for example, he loves working with nonprofits. That was his core niche back when we were first starting together. So the first thing we did was, for him, we just went inside of LinkedIn. We went on various nonprofit groups on LinkedIn. Same thing on Facebook. He didn't use Instagram back when we were first starting, so we do Facebook and LinkedIn. But we basically just went inside of communities where the target market was spending their time and being present. What we started doing, we started interacting by answering questions they had, just posting helpful articles. Anytime that someone said something or had a celebration or had a new round of funding, then we would just congratulate them. We would send them a friend request, and then we would just have the conversation with them from there. So we were growing the audience. And then what would happen then is that a certain percentage of those people would be, as soon as you send the friend request, they're like, hey, I've been looking for this service. Can you please help me? Can you please hop on a call? And they actually start selling you. So a lot of people have like this fear where it's like, they don't want to be selling people. They don't want to feel like they're pushing people. One, that's because you probably have a misunderstanding what sales actually is, and that's going to cause you not to be able to make your business work. If you're afraid of sales, I don't know what to tell you. You have to change your perspective on what a sale is. One, by really not thinking of it like you're bullying somebody. It shouldn't feel like you're trying to push them or you're pressuring them or you're trying to bully people. It should almost feel more of like you are doing your service in advance. So you're asking great questions. You're trying to uncover problems. You're trying to see where their pains are. You're trying to see if you can actually help the person out. And if you actually think you can help the person out, then you can make an invitation. You can actually describe the process of what it would look like for you guys to work together in order for you to solve their pains and their problems. At that point, if you've done a really great job, and we're talking about sales right now, if you've done a really great job at this, then they are actually going to ask how they can get started working with you, and you can then talk about pricing. From there, if you did your marketing right, you did your lead generation right, and you're actually talking to a business owner that's doing 6, 7, or 8 figures per year, it's very easy for you to say your price, and they're like, okay, cool, let's get started, right? So that's kind of the one thing where it comes to like sales and lead gen. You just gotta retrain your brain to think about sales differently, and that's one big thing. If I could just give you that one tidbit, that would change your whole business. That would take you from doing consultations. Like for me, for example, I went 0 for 35 my first 3 months in business. 0 for 35. That means I did a consultation where I talked to 35 business owners. They told me about their pains, their problems, their concerns. I then tried to talk about how I could help them out with my accounting service. And then 35 said no, or they said not right now, or they said, yeah, I'll get started today. And then as soon as I hung up the phone, they disappeared forever. Or they said, send me a contract. I sent them a contract, never got it signed back, didn't even open up the email. Like, it was all these different things, right? So I had to really learn this the hard way, because it was interesting, right? Because like I was really bad at holding people accountable and really educating them on how I could help them out. So it was always kind of like I was asking them, like, hey, do you think this could help you out? And I was very timid, very scared, because I was really intimidated of business owners when I was first getting started. Because I used to think that they were like really, really like magical types of people. Like, like whenever you hear someone who's doing like 10 million a year or 20 million a year or 30 million a year, and you're sitting in front of that person, like, whoa, this person's like crazy, man. Like, and I just had to kind of get over that. Nowadays, it's not that big of a deal when you're sitting in front of someone who's doing a lot of money. Like, if they're making like 150 million a year and they own the business outright, or if their business does like $1 billion, that's a little bit different. But for like the kind of people that we're talking about, like 6, 7, 8 figures, it's not that they're not that different from yourself and myself. It's just that they are in better industries, they have been in business longer, they are more experienced, they know how to build a team, and they can kind of grow. So they're not different than you. They should actually feel more like they're your acquaintance or your friend. So that's just one really important thing. Now, going back to what we're talking about, okay, so once you've grown that audience, now you need to start making content to deepen that relationship. The place where most people fail when it comes to content is that they make like really, really pretty pictures on like, they make like these really pretty pictures on Canva. Now, I'm not saying there's anything wrong with making your stuff look good. If you ever look at my stuff does not look good. I had this one this one bookkeeper reached out to me. She said, your branding's really bad. I was like, okay. And she's like, I just wanted to tell you that. I was like, okay. And that's kind of the difference. There was an old saying back probably about 7 years ago by a couple internet marketers who were like these just the best marketers in the world, like Dan Kennedy, Russell Brunson. He's considered one of the better ones now. He's not the best, but he's like really, really, really high. And he was saying ugly works, the stuff where it's just a white page and words, because the way that something looks is not what actually gets someone to connect with you. It's the wording you're using inside of it. If you ever look at my posts, like even on Facebook when I'm trying to, like talk about my program, it's a lot of words. It's so much words, but they are carefully crafted to add value, to be able to deepen the relationship, to get to show my personality, for you people to connect to me and then say, hey, Bryce can actually help me out. Bryce is a good person. Bryce actually has my best interests at heart. That is not on accident. That is a very, very, very structured process that took me so much money to learn that. I've read so many books on marketing, so many books on like copywriting is what it's called. It's like copywriting is like writing copy for either your website, your profiles. That's the stuff that gets people to buy. It's not having like a really nice templated picture that you took 3 hours to like get the font right. That's not the important thing. If you ever look at some of my stuff too, like you'll just see like I just literally take a picture of myself, and it's just a plain picture of myself. There's no words, there's no fonts. It's just like a very basic, but the words above it. That's where the money is. That's where everything's in. It's in the stuff that doesn't look the best. It's in the stuff that is the best. It's the stuff that cuts the deepest. That's what you need to start looking at when you're thinking about content. Not about making it look pretty. It's about being very effective. Now, if you want some help learning about content, go ahead and write content inside of the comment section below. I'll actually send you actually I have something like that. I will send you both a video and a guide on how to make better content. I actually did a guide. It took me like an hour when I was just sitting there and just making this long post about how to actually make good content. There's 5 different types of content that I really like using. So if you want that, I see Lashea said content, Brian said content, Suzanne said conversation. Yeah, write that inside of the chat. I'll actually send that to you. Okay, because this stuff is killer, guys. So whenever you're doing the first thing, you're doing audience growth should feel like you're growing linearly. That means for every, like, let's say 10 people that connect with you on social media, you should have a certain percentage of them actually, get on a call with you. Now, whether they buy or whether they don't buy, that's really dependent on your sales skill. But as far as like a lead gen perspective, it should be very linear. Now, when you start having content, that's when it starts going exponential, because a lot of the people that actually said no to you in the past, when you make good content, it actually shifts their brain, it shifts the way they think about you, so the next time you come around and ask them and start the conversation, they're more likely to say yes. And the more times you do this, where you start a conversation, they kind of reject you, or they say not right now, you send a million pieces of content, or you're just doing your post. I'm not saying do a million, that's over-exaggeration, but you're posting your content, you're sharing exactly why people can use this, different horror stories you see and people don't have this, what can happen if they work with you versus if they work with someone who's like really, really cheap. Then the next time around, it's like their whole perspective has changed, they're a totally different person towards you, they open up, they tell you about their pains, their problems, their concerns, and then if you say the first time around you had 100 people you connected with and only 10 of them got on the phone with you, the next time around there's going to be another like 10 to 15 that say yes, and then the next time around there's going to be another 10 to 15 that says yes, and then again you just keep doing these loops and these circles and you keep growing and getting more and more over time. And that's kind of the secret to how you get this exponential growth with a very small audience. Like JT was doing about $15,000 a month, and he had between about 750 to about 1,000 total friends on like Facebook and like on LinkedIn combined. So it wasn't a very huge audience, but it was a very, very potent audience who actually liked and resonated with him. That's how you start doing that, okay? Next thing is referrals from networking events, okay? This is number 2. If you're going to start, not only getting $5,000 a month, you got to start thinking about what happens the month after you get $5,000 a month. Because depending on how you got that $5,000 a month, the workload might be totally different. Is it $5,000 worth of advisory services? Is it $5,000 worth of, $500 a month clients? Is it one $5,000 a month client? Like those workloads are slightly different. So you have to start thinking about not only what happens when you start making money, but what happens after you start making money. How do you not only get from 0 to 5, but then 5 to 10, or 5 to 12, or 5 to 15? Because that's the place that most people struggle. There's so many people that come to me and they have like a million really like small clients at like $150 or like $300 a month. And they're only making about $5,000 to $7,000 a month, and they kind of hit this cap point because they didn't really think about this stuff ahead of time, and they didn't have someone like me back when they were first getting started telling them to start thinking ahead. But you do have that, and that's kind of why you're on this video right now. So I'm telling you this ahead of time, so you don't have to make those mistakes, right? For example, like Melissa, when she first came to me, she was doing about $2,500 a month, and she had like 30 clients. When I asked her, I was like, "How do you have 30 clients, but you're only making $2,500 a month?" Like I didn't say it to be mean, but it was just like it just didn't really comprehend for me. And because she had like a couple people who were like paying like, not a couple, she probably had like 10 people that were paying $125 per quarter. So they would just come to her like once a quarter and have like this cleanup, and then she would just be charging like these exuberantly low rates, and it was just so ridiculous. And it was just crazy. It was like, the first thing we had to do, we had to call each one of those people, and we're like, hey, we're raising the price by at least $100 a month. Like, if you don't want to do it, either you get on the train or you get off the station. And she did it for about 25 people. 24 agreed to raise their price. So that was step number one. Okay, number two for her was to go and get referrals. Okay, so referrals are really, really important for her because, like we said, there's different types of, $5,000 a month, different types of $7,000 a month. Is it one where you're working 50 hours a week, or is it one where you're working like 10, 20 hours a week? Depending on how you did that, you might have to go and start getting referrals, because then you're starting to get leads coming to you without having to directly work for it. It's fun. I'll even kind of let you guys in on a secret. Don't tell anybody, though. Use it for yourself. Don't tell my competitors. So, whenever you have like a video like this video is actually a referral partner. The reason why is because it's going to live on, and every single time that a new person sees it, they like me a little bit more, and then I have like this link where you can go and book a call. And when someone books a call, then it comes on my calendar. Then on my calendar, I can see exactly who, aka which video, sent them to me. What that does is it allows me to be able to know, okay, cool, so this video is my best referral partner. And then every single week I have, X amount, or I do like a weekly training like this. You do that every single day or every single week for a year, you have 52 referral videos or referral partners. Now, if you look at my YouTube channel, I have about 150 videos at this point, right? And I'm even going to be increasing the speed to doing, one every single day for the next 90 days. That's going to be 90 additional referral partners that are working for me. Okay, so that's just kind of a tidbit. You probably didn't need to know that in order to get to, $10,000 a month, but that was just for someone who's watching who might be at a slightly different place. Actually, I have a person in mind. If you're watching this, Yulia, that's a tip for you, okay? I know we're not working together yet, but I just thought of you when I was making that. Dano says, nice haircut. Thank you, Dano. Thank you. I appreciate that. I'm getting a haircut more frequently now that the weather's kind of getting warmer. So guys, the people who commented content, I'll be getting that to you probably in the next either day or two. Just depends on my schedule. I have something to do after this call, so it might not be right away. Okay, but referral partnerships, guys, you need to start going to people who have already been in a service business for a little bit longer than what you have. Okay? Now, number one, financial advisors. Number two, business consultants can be kind of tricky, because if you go to a business consultant and get referrals, then they're going to try and sell you into their business program. So that can be a little tricky. Next one can be about real estate agents. Generally, I prefer to go and talk to commercial real estate agents, because then they're talking to business owners that need a commercial space. And it's a little bit easier like that. One that can also be kind of hit or miss would be like insurance agents. Sometimes my students will get leads from insurance agents. It's very, very rare. Another one is credit repair specialists. Okay, those ones can be really cool, especially if you're doing multiple services, like if you offer taxes, tax prep, and tax planning. And if you do more of the monthly service like bookkeeping, accounting, CFO services, it's very, very cool to be able to offer those, and those are really great referral partners. Also, other bookkeepers. Look at who's owned a bookkeeping business out in your city, your state, and they've been in business for 10, 20, 30 years. Generally, if they don't need your help, they're the best referral partners. That's one thing you have to start considering, okay? If the person needs your help to go and get them referrals, it's not going to be a good partnership for you. If the person does not need your help, but they like you and they resonate with you and they start giving you referrals, that's when you get a really, really, really beneficial partnership for you. Now, keep in mind, you can't just come at them with taker energy, because even though it's going to be really beneficial for you, you still need to give something to them. Is that a $50 gift card to their favorite restaurant once a month? Is that going into their office to go and bring them some cookies or some donuts or their favorite candy? Is that, maybe send them a thank you card? What are you giving them, or what can you give them? It could be tickets to a baseball, basketball, or football game, whatever their favorite sporting event is. It could be tickets to a play or an orchestra or what is that thing you can give to them in exchange for them sending people your way? You got to start thinking about that. It can be any kind of value. It can be something. It can be a connection to someone inside the local area, even if it's not one of your own clients. Okay? Now, when Melissa did this, she actually got an extra $7,000 per month from one referral partner. Melissa's not the one we're talking about inside of this video, but that's just another student who implemented this very, very effectively. And it took her about 2.5 months for her to get the $7,000 in from new referrals, and it's been crazy ever since then. She's still getting referrals. She's still getting new people in the door, and it's just crazy. She's actually getting ready to go inside of our mastermind program, which is actually the level up after you've been inside the regular program. Like, the regular program is just designed to get you momentum. After that, it's about making sure you can scale, so you can get to like that $30,000 a month, that $40,000 a month level inside of your accounting or bookkeeping business. Now, hopefully you've enjoyed this video so far. I like to keep these under about 25 minutes. Anything more than that in Facebook generally tries to kind of limit the engagement, because they don't think that most people can kind of like concentrate longer than about 25 minutes. I believe in you, though. I think you can concentrate longer than that. So hopefully you're having a really great rest of your day. If you want some help, write #connect. And if you also want to see if I can help you grow your business, you've been really find some value out of this training, out of this video, you've been inside the group, you've been inside the YouTube channel, and you want some help, go ahead and click on that link inside the description. Book a call with me. Let's see if I can help you out. Let's see if we can get to your dreams and your goals together and how long it's actually going to take us. If that's you, I'll see you on the call. If not, I'll see you inside the next video. Have a great one.